De Leon Essentiella. Let's see if we can get this. Yeah, there's no audio, so we'll turn that off. And then we will turn that back on.
Can you hear me?
1 second. I can barely hear you. I'm trying to get this set up. It's full screen this. Bluetooth. Alrighty, oops. Alrighty, trying to see if we can get some audio going here and go from there. Okay, hopefully this is it. No clue if it's working. Okay, alright, hopefully this is it. There's that. Well, 4 minutes late isn't bad, so hopefully. Hello, can you hear me? Alrighty, this looks like my microphone's working. No, I cannot hear you. Let me try this one. Alright, what about now?
I can still hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Okay.
Awesome. So how was your week?
That was good. How was yours?
It was alright. I worked. You know, just getting stuff done, cleaning constantly, which is like every day sometimes. Dishes. I finally got a new stove. I don't know if I mentioned that. My stove wasn't working, and I had to wait an hour or not an hour, a month to get a new one. I still don't have cold water in my sink in my kitchen, but that's not too bad. There's cold water in the bathroom. Besides that, just working, doing what I can, going from there. When it's nice outside, I go jogging, weather permitting.
Nice. How's work treating you?
Pretty good. I just gotta, sometimes it's a little confusing. Like one dude, his name's Kay Wheeler. I'm Kay Wheeler. So he got paid like $250 that I was supposed to get paid, like a whole 5 hours at like $50 an hour. And then also, I got to look into, we get this thing called a meal penalty where like if we don't get our meal, our lunch break, we get a little bonus, but it's called a meal penalty. And sometimes those are pretty good money, like $84 an hour, because that's the bonus you get if you don't get your meal break. So yeah, just going from there and doing that. But besides that, it's nice. It's constant. And yeah, so I live downtown, and I get called in. Like last night, I got called in. They're asking, "Hey, can you make it to the convention center?" I was like, "Sure." So I get there 4 o'clock, and then by 7 we were done. But we get paid a minimum of 4 hours. So working 3 hours and getting paid 4, and then making overtime because it's the weekend, is nice.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh.
All right. So, as far as class goes, I want to read through. It's kind of fun. It's like it's called the mock trial vignette. So, let's see here. Why is this not opening? I hate technology sometimes. Okay. Jane has been accused of assault and battery of a police officer. She was in an argument with her husband when the police were called. When the police officers came to assess the situation, a police officer tried to calm her down. She was drunk at the time and started yelling at the police officer. Then, after feeling frustrated with him, she punched him. The police officer arrested her and took her to the county jail. And then it says, time goes on, tells me to instruct, this is usually a vignette for like a group setting, but we don't do a whole lot of groups, so. Jane's trial is about to take place. Everyone except the judge enters and sits in the courtroom. The bailiff arrives and asks everyone to please rise, ladies and gentlemen, for the honorable, let's give the judge, Honorable Jim Doe. The judge walks in and allows everyone to be seated. The bailiff announces the case, the state of Florida versus Jane Doe, and the judge calls court into session. The defendant, Jane, sits with her public defender. She will let her attorney ask questions and speak for her in court today because her public defender has studied the law and knows best how to represent her. She will not speak out in court, but will talk to her public defender quietly if she needs to say anything. The public defender has spent time preparing Jane's case or gathering evidence and witnesses that will provide for her innocence. The state attorney is representing the state They are trying to convince Jane of the crime of the assault and battery on a police officer. The state attorney has to give facts, evidence, witnesses that will prove she is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The judge is preparing to hear Jane's case too, and has prepared the jury to consider only the absolute facts to prove Jane's guilt. The judge will remain in control of the courtroom during the trial and will make sure everyone is playing by the rules. The court reporter will type every word spoken in Jane's trial, and the trial is about to begin. The judge calls the prosecution to give an opening statement as to how they will prove Jane's guilt. The judge calls the public defender to give an opening statement regarding how they are going to defend their client. The prosecutor then presents their case, stating the facts that prove Jane is guilty of the crime. The prosecutor will call the police officer to the stand and have him testify to the alleged acts of the crime, and the bailiff will swear them in. The prosecutor will ask questions of the police officer and show any other evidence they have. The defense cross-examines the police officer, asking questions how to discredit the police officer. The prosecutor makes closing statements, and the public defender presents their case, stating the reasons why Jane shouldn't be found guilty. She was harassed by the police officer and was defending herself. They bring Jane to the witness stand. The state attorney cross-examines the police officer. The public defender calls their client to the witness stand. The prosecutor cross-examines. Jane will be careful how to testify in court. She will not go on and on into too many details. She will answer questions to the point directly. Closing statements will be given on each side. And the jury will deliberate over the trial and come to a unanimous decision regarding Jane's innocence or guilt. The evidence should be beyond a reasonable doubt that Jane is guilty of the crime she has been accused of committing. They vote her guilty. The jury can recommend a sentence, but the judge always gives a sentence. Her charges are a third-degree felony. If convicted, the maximum time she could be given is 5 years in prison. The verdict will be read and the sentence given. If applicable, the court is dismissed by the judge. So, what do you think the prosecution's evidence or witnesses might have been?
Most likely, the pig, the cop, who got assaulted. That's their whole case. So he has to take the stand, point the finger, and say, "Yes, that person right there, the defendant, attacked me."
Okay. Let me read up here really quick. So she was in an argument with her husband, and the police were called. When the police officers came to assess the situation, the police officer tried to calm her down. She was drunk at the time and started yelling at the police officer and then punched him. Okay. So that would be the alleged facts from probably the police report. It looks like the defense went in for a case of self-defense. So what kind of evidence would they have to prove to bring? Nope, it just says she was drunk at the time and started yelling at the police officer. Then after feeling frustrated with him, she punched him. The police officer arrested her and took her to the county jail.
Okay, so, yeah, well, there'd only be the presumption, right? Oh, hey, slurring words, belligerent activity, the smell of alcohol. If she claims self-defense against, attacking a pig, hitting the cop, she'd probably have to get on the stand and say, oh, hey, she was under duress. What do you call that? Felt imminent harm or felt pain from the cop allegedly trying to calm her down. Like, let's say the cop put hands on her and she was drunk, fell over, hurt herself, and she thought she was being attacked.
Right. So let's assume they did the breathalyzer, and that's how they stated she was drunk. What about her husband? Do you think either the defense or the prosecution would call her husband in as a witness?
Both of them could probably. I mean, if he gets subpoenaed, then he'll probably have to show up to testify. But how should I say? In one of those videos, wasn't there something that said that a spouse can have the right not to testify or make a statement?
I believe so. I think I know what you're talking about, which video.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, if they're forced to testify, they have to testify. If they can take a conscientious objection and saying that they choose not to answer that question, which I think everybody can. I think everybody can state they choose not to answer a question. They just have to give the truth if they choose to answer a question. But
right.
If they call in the husband and the husband says, oh yeah, she was drunk, she was belligerent, hysterical, she's beating people up, excuse me, that's one thing. But let's say the husband goes the other way and was like, no, she wasn't drunk, she was just scared. Oh, got hiccups. And something along that lines,
Right. So there's a lot of different ways that it could go. It's kind of insane how they can turn the people close to you into witnesses against you.
Yes.
And vice versa. How people close to you can be so helpful. But that's just the important part of the trial process, is understanding, looking at it from both sides. Like, oh, we think this is a good idea for defense, but here's how they can also see it from the prosecution.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for you today.
Okay.
How's the once a week thing working out for you? Do you feel like you need more, or is it okay where it's at?
I think it's okay. It helps with the work schedule. So right after this, I'll get on and I'll dial in the work call line, and that puts me more to be put out there. So right now, this week I did a call on Sunday yesterday, and that's because I'm in what's called the bullpen. The bullpen just basically means I live downtown. I live close enough to Butcher, Buell, and the convention center. So, where the Opera House is and the Colorado Convention Center, the Big Blue Bear.
Yeah.
I'm 6 blocks away. Well, technically, what is that, 8? Because it's 6 blocks straight, 2 blocks over. So I can walk there, even in the snow. So whenever they need people to show up, they'll call me, which is pretty nice. And on the weekends, we normally get paid our overtime. So if it's normally $32, overtime is an extra $16. So that becomes $48. And sometimes the overtime is $56 and change. Yeah, so it's pretty nice. I still do that, and I still go through with the Pop Bookings app. It's actually sending me little updates right now. That's what that sound is. And those are easy and smooth because the work week, they try to fill it up at least 1 week in advance. So they say, hey, we know we have this coming, and this coming, and they're going to schedule out everybody they can. So
Right.
there's a place called the Gaylord out by the airport. That one, they want you there every day that you can. So, me saying, well, I can't be there on Monday, and that normally puts it like, well, then you can't be there the Monday through Friday because they'll want people there the entire week. So,
Yeah.
other places, like the convention center, the opera house, stuff like that. Sometimes I get called in the day of or the day before, and they're just like, well, hey, just show up. And I'll be like, what do I need to wear? Because sometimes I can just wear blue jeans because all we're doing is loading stuff out. I don't have to be dress blacks, like black slacks and a polo shirt, which sometimes I do because I'm there and I'm being presentable and I have to operate a microphone or interact with people.
Right. Oh, very good. Sounds like a pretty sweet gig.
Yeah, we're hiring. I keep telling all the different people. Oh, I got a new Bridges liaison.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I think her name is Mariana. Lisa went somewhere else, moved or went somewhere. I also got a new pre-trial release officer as Tara went to the police. So after court, I have to have a meeting with them.
Okay. Oh, interesting. I didn't even know Lisa left.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I will talk to you next Monday.
Awesome. You have a beautiful week. See you next Monday.
You as well. Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.
Alrighty. Let's look at these chats. BPM, hello. Eddie M, hello. BPM, hello. Competent to stand trial. Yeah, I know. That's the whole point of these classes. Tell the judge she tried to molest you. Well, that wouldn't work. We've never met in person. So making false statements really isn't my thing in the first place. So I'm going to go with a no-go on that. It'd be inappropriate to make those false statements. Uh, no, we're not going to boner jam. I'm glad you're live, Kenny. We haven't seen you for a while. Yeah, I haven't done a stream in a minute. Dude, I worked this entire weekend and I slept in. Yeah, I was just fucking sleeping, dude. I was sleeping motherfucker this weekend. Digital molestation is a thing. Just ask Natty. Oh my god. How about we just all get shit-faced drunk and ask Natty her dissertation on Dr. Spock's parenting advice? Dr. Spock wrote a book on parenting, and people say it's a real good parenting book. But Dr. Spock's children said that he wasn't the best father. That he was able to write a real good parenting book, but as for being a parent, he wasn't that good at being a parent. So yeah, it is 9:55 a.m. There's stuff I gotta do. Oh, I gotta call into the call line. I went and ate breakfast. I spent money. I don't know if I should have spent money. Okay. Fuck. So I'm looking at this pop-uppins thing. Dude, I gotta go through a whole bunch of fucking emails, dude. Uh, Alrighty. Yeah, so, this is the restoration class. I don't even know what to say. Alrighty. Yeah. Let's look at pop-uppins real quick. And then I gotta call into the work line. Go from there. Where's your cool new t-shirt? Over there. Damn, that just got weird. Okay, so and there's a couple of fucking gigs, but they only pay like $22 an hour. Remember, minimum wage is $17.29. It goes up to like $18.50 next year. So yeah, a lot of these gigs I choose based upon how easy they are or how much they pay. All right, well, let's call in, right?
You have reached the Denver Theatrical, Stage, Film, and Exhibition Employees. Three zero three five six four five. Kenneth Wheeler.
Kenneth Wheeler.
If this is correct, press 1. For the current week begins Sunday, November 5th, 2023, and ends Saturday, November 11th, 2023. Press 1 if you are available for work this week. Press. Your availability for work has been entered in the database. Press 1 if you would like to select next week. Otherwise, hang up now.
Shut up. Alrighty. So it's 10 a.m. I want to go for a jog. Where's my vape, which I got for free from a Cincy Night thingy? Alrighty. 57 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. It's 10:01 a.m. I'm going to go at least for a walk outside down by the river. I'm going to call this. I have to come back and do a whole bunch of emails and clean. I did not do laundry or clean my bathroom this weekend as I sat around and did nothing, and I did go to work. So, yes, everybody in YouTube land, stay warm if you need to stay warm, stay cool if you need to stay cool, stay healthy, stay safe, stay sober, choosing sobriety. I think I'll run out of vape today, so my sobriety will kick back in. Toxic AI, hi Blue Eye Baptist. I know how you can make money and get pussy, sell mushrooms. Yeah, I'm really not a mushroom seller. I grew my own and ate my own, but as for the selling of the mushrooms, it's like, yeah. But everybody in YouTube land, I'm gonna call it. It says attempts to plummet. That's odd. Not temps to drop. Temperatures will plummet. Alrighty, let's look at 57 degrees. We are looking at the no. They will plummet on Wednesday. They'll hit 40 something. It's going to get up to 70 degrees. It's 57 degrees right now, and in 2 hours it'll be 13 degrees higher. No, 4 hours. Sorry, in 2 hours it will be 6 degrees higher. So in 4 hours it will be 20 or 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah. All right, everybody. I'm gonna call this. Holy shit. All right. Peace. Love you. And broadcast quick. And broadcast quick.